And this is Ken Kraetzer for CBSI Services. I get a chance to chat today with Ryan Craver, who has a new role. He has a bunch of hats that he likes to wear, and actually works extensively in the clothing industry. But now he is the president and CEO of TrimFit, which is an active clothing line manufacturer merchant. So, Ryan, good to see you. And tell us a little bit about TrimFit.
Good to see you as well. So TrimFit's a children's wear brand since 1921, headquartered here in New York City, part of the L'Amour Group, and we are sold nationally in Kohl's, Macy's, Costco Canada, Stage stores, and we have a very large presence on Amazon.
That's great. Well, you've had a busy year, and it is that time of year. It's a warm day in midsummer in New York City, but it is very close to the very busy fall sales season, which is beginning with certainly back to school is going on right now. We're starting to see a lot of messaging and promotions. What is important for retailers to follow and to think about as they're trying to stay in front of their customers to promote back to school sales opportunities?
I think, most importantly, the idea is to be where the voices are being heard. We talk about putting ourselves in circulars. Yes, circulars are a big, big way to get your voice out and be heard as to what you're actually selling. Beyond that, a lot of the retailers are doing a great job of marketing themselves online, so you need to be a part of that conversation. And the biggest returning mechanism or vehicle for that is email. So you need to be in the emails. You need to be highly personalized if possible, and you need to be earlier. They're starting a lot of the selling and the sales promotions and cadence a lot earlier than they used to in the past.
Absolutely, and not too far off. We always see that almost every company has a meeting over the summertime, maybe in July. We used to back in my banking days. Now, what else can we do to attract sales, attract revenue over the balance of the year? What short-term actions can be taken? And really, with the ability of messaging on the internet, on mobile phones, it's easier to make messaging, to get messages out on shorter notice and maybe when it was more messaging was more broadcast oriented. What are some of the things that you're talking to your clients that are out in retail? Some of the things that you're hearing about how to message and stay in front of customers as they start to talk about fourth quarter and holiday sales.
So again, I think for the fourth quarter holiday sales, they're going to start a lot earlier than we're used to. Last year, you saw a bit of that. But most importantly, again, it goes back to where all the voices are being heard. One of the stats that I've shared recently is that Facebook time spent by the average user, such as ourselves, across all demographics is higher than that of Google. And when you start to think about that, you need to think about ways in which you're going to market to customers utilizing sites like Facebook, like anything within Instagram. It's not just Facebook specifically, but it can be anything affiliated with Facebook, whether Instagram, WhatsApp, etc. And if you're not a part of those, you're not going to be heard, and you're not going to be nearly as relevant to those customers that do spend all that time on those channels.
Absolutely. And we were kind of talking before about the different types of retailers today between online, kind of those that are in the big boxes and the shopping malls, but then also the storefronts and also the ones that are retailers in suburban towns, neighborhoods around the country. What are some of the ways that you're suggesting or hearing that some of the different retail distribution segments can be maintain visibility during the busy holiday sales season?
So it's incredibly complex in terms of the different types of businesses, different types of storefronts, as you mentioned, that have migrated over to online in greater fashion. I mean, everyone's very familiar with the Best Buys of the world that saw the consumer electronics quickly move to those like Amazon. We saw the circuit cities fall off the map. And my point to retailers is if you know that so many people are going to sites like Amazon to start to look for product, if you're a brand, if you're not a part of things like Amazon, you're not going to be heard. A stat that I recently shared is 40% of apparel searches start on Amazon.com. That's incredible. And again, if you're a brand like TrimFit, the showroom that we're currently sitting in, if we're not playing a role on Amazon, we're never going to be heard, we're never going to sell, and we're not going to be successful in these key selling periods.
And you've got a terrific newsletter that you send out bright and early every Monday morning, the Tech Infused Retail, and you can sign up by contacting Ryan on his Twitter account, Ryan M. Craver, and receive a very informative retail newsletter every Monday morning. And you mentioned about the growth of Amazon and pointed out that it is now worth almost $300 billion as an organization. How is Amazon continuing to grow? I mean, I always still think of them as a great bookstore, and I download to my Kindle all the time on my smartphone books, but they've got so many other product lines that they have been successful with. And as you say, they're becoming very successful in all sorts of types of digital equipment.
Yeah. So if you look at Amazon, you're right. The market cap now exceeds that of Walmart, which is pretty amazing. Now, they're not like-for-like businesses, but what you saw in this latest quarter, where their revenues were up 20%, is you saw their cloud services business doing tremendously. I think it was up 81%. Beyond that, you've got statistics like Amazon will sell more clothing than Macy's, who's across the street here, annually, which is an amazing statistic. And they continue to grow. They continue to build two things. First, the value proposition in the Amazon Prime. They not only give you the free 2-day shipping, which is sometimes ground shipping, but they also give you all the content, music, the Kindle sharing, the Amazon video, as well as make it the most frictionless shopping experience possible. That's the first thing. The second thing that they do is they want to make sure that you know that you can get everything. Anything and everything is on that site, and it's done, again, in a frictionless way that makes you feel fine in just pressing buy. That's why you see so many Prime members as households within the United States, and that's why you also see their sales rising so dramatically.
And one of the areas, obviously, CBSI has been in the payment business, working with the credit card issuers for now over 25 years on different programs. One of the big innovations this fall will be the beginning of the requirement that retailers accept chip cards and have the equipment in place on October 1st to accept them, because otherwise the responsibility for fraudulent charges shifts to the retailer rather than the issuing bank. A lot of scrambles going on in that side of the business. Do you see that being something the retailers can handle? And I know a lot of other things happening in the payment space.
Yeah. I do see the retailers making up ground. Yes, they are scrambling. I think that you're also seeing the card issuers scrambling quite a bit. You probably have seen through your own personal wallet that a lot of stuff is getting swapped out at this current point in time. I think it's necessary. I also think that it's not the end-all, be-all, meaning that we will still continue to see confidentiality breaches in some way, shape, or form, whether through privacy or whether through financial breaches. I think what's interesting, though, that comes with this change with the chip and PIN is you're going to also see some other technologies being built into the point-of-sale equipment that's being rolled out. Things like mobile wallet, NFC, more Apple Pay, more Google Wallet, more PayPal. And that's what's so exciting to me, because the payment space is so thrilling right now. You've got PayPal splitting off by itself. You've got Apple Pay launching in the UK. You have Stripe going through another $5 billion valuation. So it's very, very exciting times for the payment space. And I think inevitably what it's going to lead to is hopefully a more secure way in which we can transact money, and probably do it in a lot less friction, which is ideal for us as consumers.
One of the issues some of the larger retailers have had, the storefront traditional retailers, is trying to encourage customers to make their purchase there in the store, and to rather than going to the alternate of looking for a like item online from an online retailer, possibly at a lower price. What are some of the methods that you've seen some of the retailers do to try to encourage customers to make that purchase when they see the item that they really want?
Right. So first and foremost, I think everyone needs to sit back and realize they're never going to stop a consumer pulling out their phone. We have the most researched, well thought out, most informed consumer we've ever seen with a computer in their pocket. So realize the showrooming will never stop. With that said, there are things that retailers are starting to do to try and intrigue the customer while they are in store. Kohl's specifically came out last week and said that in September, as part of their app, they will have the ability for a customer, as they open the app in store, to flip the switch to say they're in store, or for the app to acknowledge that they're in the store. And that changes the way and the dynamic in which that app is being experienced with the customer. They can see exclusive content. They can understand more about the product that they've got right there in front of them. And I think some customers are going to enjoy that. Beyond that, there are ways in which we can try and figure out a way to keep the customer not necessarily captive, but most intrigued and interested in that product, as well as feel as if they are earning a very valuable purchase. Jet.com very specifically has launched, and they, on the right-hand side of the product, actually call out the Amazon price, who's their top competitor, right there. I would not be surprised to see some other retailers that are traditionally brick and mortar do something similar, where they're providing price transparency. Price matching is a big thing that guys like Nordstrom use.
Okay, and one of the elements I know you've been a proponent of are beacons, which and other methods to try to message customers when they actually are in the shopping mall or they're in a store, and offering them opportunities right then and there. Where do you see the use of beacons, which I know is one of the technology delivery items on that, as far as helping to make offers to and communicate to customers when they're actually on premise?
Yeah. It's interesting you bring up beacons, because we just had the Qualcomm guys here and we were talking a bit about where beacons are going. I think the last time we spoke, I said that it's great to see Facebook and Twitter jump on the bandwagon. That's a great catalyst. I think we haven't evolved yet from the marketing promotion side. We need to do more personalized offers that have some intelligence built into them other than just location. So me shooting you a coupon saying, great to see that you're here at this store, and just giving you a coupon is not a smart coupon. It's kind of a dumb coupon. And so we need to maybe incent you in some other way, say, hey, we know that your wife wants this. Maybe we can give you some type of coupon that's a bit more structured. That's one. The second thing is that eventually the platforms need to be a lot easier for customers to interact with them. So they need to be part of other apps that are on phones, and then we'll start to see people get a little bit more excited, do stuff outside of marketing, and not necessarily feel bad when they're downloading an app that knows their location.
Okay, and we're talking with Ryan M. Craver, who has added the title of President and CEO of TrimFit since we talked last. And Ryan, I know you've got a conference you're going to be speaking at in Las Vegas coming up next month. Where are some of the areas that you're going to be speaking, and what are some of the topics that you'll be addressing with the audiences?
Yeah, next month in August, I'll be in Chicago at the Sofitel for Connect Mobile, which is a fantastic event. Unfortunately, I didn't get to speak at it last year, but it's a fantastic event where my presentation I think it's called From Table Stakes to Moonshots, and essentially all things mobile. So who's doing a great job in mobile today, brass tacks, and then who is doing some great things or talking about some great things that will happen in mobile. If you like mobile, it's a great place to be, whether you're in QSR, fast casual, or retail. And then the big conference in mid-March in Vegas for all the apparel and the fashion folks for brands like TrimFit is in mid-August, and it's in Vegas at Mandalay and the Las Vegas Convention Center.
Very good. Ryan M. Craver, who is the author of a weekly newsletter, Tech Infused Retail, comes out every Monday. To receive that, just reach Ryan on his Twitter address, at Ryan M. Craver. And great to see you, and congratulations on on TrimFit. Got to ask you now, where can people find all the clothing items from TrimFit?
So we are, again, sold exclusively in Kohl's in certain parts of our brand. We're also sold in Macy's, Stage Stores, Costco Canada, and Amazon.com.
Very good. Ryan M. Craver, great to see you, and we'll look forward to keeping track of your presentations and everything retail over the busy fourth quarter and really the whole fall sales season.
Awesome. Thanks for your time. I enjoy it.
Thank you, Ryan M. Craver. Ken Kraetzer for CBSI Services in New York City.